Welcome to the NBA's greatest game. Today, we'll take you back into NBA history and relive one of the great matchups as it happened.
In the shadow of Seattle's Space Needle, it's time for the most famous opera singer since Rudolph Bing. Tonight, the Fat Lady will serenade either Seattle or Washington with an NBA championship. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brent Musburger. Welcome aboard. It's going to be a whale of a night on CBS. The slogan began with Washington coach Dick Motta. He picked it up from a San Antonio radio broadcaster. The opera ain't over till the Fat Lady sings. Well, the Fat Lady has run all out of tomorrows. This series began on a Sunday afternoon right here in the Seattle Center Coliseum. The Washington Bullets blew it open early, took a 19-point lead, but off of Lenny Wilkins' bench came number 32, downtown Freddie Brown, 30 points, 16 in the fourth quarter, 106-102. Seattle won game one and sent the series back to Landover, Maryland. But in game two, Elvin Hayes and Bobby Dandridge hit 59% from the floor, and the Bullets struck back 106-98. The series stayed in Landover for game three, but an entirely different outcome. Dennis Johnson was fabulous, both offensively and 7 block shots. 93-92 Seattle, they led it 2-1. Then it was the Kingdom, 39,000 fans. Into overtime, Charles Johnson with 6 points, and the Bullets struck back 120-116. The series came to the Coliseum for game 5, led by strong rebounding by Marvin Lewis. The Seattle Supersonics took the lead 98-94. Then it was back to Landover, Maryland. Game 6, one the Bullets had to win to stay alive, and win it they did. Led by Elvin Hayes, Wes Unseld, they won it by 35 points, 117-82, and that sets the stage for tonight. The 7th game, and you have to go back to the series between Milwaukee and Boston before you can find another 7th game. Now, to fill you in on what's up to date with the Seattle Supersonics, let's go to Rick Barry. Rick?
The Sonics, of course, are back in a building in which they feel extremely confident, and there's a good reason for that. They haven't lost very often in this building, but despite the fact that it is the 7th ball game, the task is still the same for the Sonics. They must come out and play the aggressive defense that gained them 3 victories in this championship playoff. Along with it, they must try to execute and have a little better patience on their offense. If they can do that, they very well may be the champions of the NBA. But there's another team that has something to say about that, so here's John Havlicek with the Washington story.
For the Washington Bullets, Kevin Greavy, who received a sprained wrist in Game 5 and only played 6 minutes in Game 6, is healthy. I talked with him before the game, and he has no discomfort. If the Bullets are to win this game tonight, they must do 2 things. They must dominate the rebounding category, as they did in last Sunday's game, which allows them to run, and this is where they were most effective. The other thing is the bench effectiveness. If they can receive this, they should be a very contending factor in this final game. Now let's go to Brent for the starting lineup.
All right, John, thank you very much. As you view the sellout crowd in the Seattle Center Coliseum, the visitors, the Washington Bullets, with Elvin Hayes there seated in the middle. They, of course, will be introduced first to the crowd. Coached by Dick Motta and Bernie Bickerstaff. They worked out here yesterday. Tommy Henderson, the first player introduced, he's hitting 42% for the first 6 games. He'll start in the backcourt along with Kevin Greavy, who says he feels fine tonight. He's hitting only 37%, but been bothered by injuries. The center, of course, huge Wes Unseld. And starting at forwards, Bobby Dandridge, who's hitting 46%, and their offensive leader, Elvin Hayes, hitting 48% from the floor. They will start for the Bullets. Now for the home team, Seattle Supersonics. We're coached by Lenny Wilkins and Les Habaker. Les standing there. Their 5 regulars about to be introduced. And it is John Johnson who breaks off the bench first. He'll start at forward, hitting only 37%. He, too, bothered by injuries. Young Jack Sikma, the rookie, is the other forward, hitting 40% from the floor for 6 games. And And the young man who has meant so much to the turnaround of the franchise, Marvin Webster, hitting 42%. Now the guards, where they get most of their firepower. Dennis Johnson at 45%, and Gus Williams at 45%. The head coach and the coach of the year, according to a lot of experts, Lenny Wilkins, who took over when this team was 5-17. And it has come down to tonight. 111 games and 8 months. And right now, 48 minutes with a championship at stake.
You know it's game time and the joint is jumping, jumping.
Up and under on the baseline, and she scores.
Get up at your feet. You know it's game time and the joint is jumping.
Oh, that's outstanding WNBA action.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
The NBA on CBS. Tonight's championship game is sponsored by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. Old Spice, stick deodorant or new antiperspirant. And by all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere.
From the Seattle Center Coliseum, CBS Sports brings you the decisive game of a long NBA campaign that began for these gentlemen way back in October and now has come down to just one evening's play. But Lenny Wilkins says there are no losers here tonight, that it is a tribute to both Seattle and Washington that they have gotten this far. The referees for tonight's game, Jack Madden is on the left. Earl Strom is on the right. They will be on the floor. Paul Mahalik, who's in the center, will be sitting at the table. Elvin Hayes will jump it off against Marvin Webster. Earl Strom tosses it up, and number 7 is underway. The Bullets in their traveling dark uniforms in control. Here's Tommy Henderson. Wes Unseld, the powerful man in the middle, and Elvin Hayes. Kevin Greavy goes back inside low, turnaround. The game's first shot by Hayes. Loose ball taken back by the Bullets. It is Hayes on the steal. Greavy glides inside. They're 0 for 2, and the Sonics come out. Dennis Johnson regains it. Wes Williams is the man outside, pointing at where he wants Webster. He moves over there. John Johnson will put it up outside. It's 2-0 and our first foul.
One thing you don't want to do, especially the start of a ball game is to give an outside shooter an opportunity to go to the free throw line. If you're not a shot blocker, you let the man take the shot, keep good position, but don't pick up a silly foul on a long-distance opportunity.
First foul on Bobby Dandridge. Free throw missed by John Johnson. Dandridge with control. Backing in on Johnson. Williams watching on the double team, and then he comes with Henderson. Greavy. Washington taking a lot of time early. Henderson on the penetration.
That's the type of play that really has hurt the Sonics, allowing that penetration by the opposition's guards.
Knocked away by Unseld. Bullets have got it and a chance to take an early lead with Henderson controlling. Dandridge outside, gives it up to Henderson. Unseld out there, you can see him ready to pick. They move the ball the other way to Hayes. Now they go to the right, and Kevin Greavy.
That's one thing the Bullets have to do. That time they made 2 or 3 passes, got it to the weak side for the wide open shot.
Bernie Bickerstaff and Dick Motta are both down. Bickerstaff now stands to yell defensive instructions. Johnson with his second shot missed. Tapped by Webster. Picked up on the move by Dandridge. Goes alone to the basket. The defense was not back.
Bad transition would be an inadequate description. There was no defensive transition that time. Can't afford to do that.
Jack Sikma handles the ball for the first time. Getting it into Marvin Webster. Wes Unseld has done a tremendous defensive job on him. Gus Williams had the ball hit by Unseld and then got back on it. And there was a foul called. And it's going to be a jump ball, no foul on it. Wes and Gus. Controlled by the Bullets and Kevin Greavy. He has been to a one-game shootout before with Kentucky against UCLA when the Bruins beat the Wildcats for the NCAA title. Dandridge inside, blocked by Webster. You can see Jack Madden signaling that the Bullets will have possession. 6-2, they're up by 4. Must take it out on the side. Greavy. Webster's outlet is to Gus Williams. The defense is set, and Williams comes through inside. He took Greavy with it.
On that particular play, when we watch the replay, Bobby Dandridge could have shut that play down completely. He'll be on the right side of your screen as we see Gus coming up the floor taking it. And if Bobby had gone into the middle, shut it off completely. Right here, you'll see him in your picture over to your left side, just barely, as Gus takes it to the hole, picks up the foul. He should have watched the ball, dropped into the middle, forced the pitch out for the jump shot.
6-5, a 1-point Washington lead. The first period of Game 7 to determine the NBA championship. This is the 12th time that they have reached the 7th game. Shot outside, missed by the Bullets, and John Johnson with control. Sikma. Unseld is on him on this trip, hit by Henderson, regained by John Johnson. Johnson with the offhand, and Hayes left it back out of bounds. Lenny Wilkins calmly eyeing the situation.
Good help that time by the E on weak side defense. That's what both teams need to have more of. Stop those easy opportunities inside.
Dennis Johnson for Seattle's first lead is off. Lead to Bobby Dandridge. Dennis Johnson avoiding the foul. Greavy outside again. A little bit too much spin, and Gus Williams out on the move. Gets past Greavy as Hayes comes back. Williams. Jack Sikma, and the Sonics lead it 7-6 on Jack Sikma's tap.
The time you have to have good boxing out, and Wes Unseld failed to do it that time as Sikma followed from the other end of the floor. Good hustle shown by Sikma that time.
The Bullets trying to regain the lead. Dandridge. Foul as he backed in. And it's on Johnson as Charles Johnson replaces Kevin Greavy. Greavy testing the injured wrist, the injured ankle, the injured thigh. Threw up a couple outside, and Dick Motta feeling that he had seen enough, puts in Johnson.
Forgot his sore knee.
That's right. He has really been beat up, hasn't he, Rick, in this series?
Well, I'll tell you, that just shows you the type of determination that players have. When you get into this type of competition, you play your entire career to get an opportunity like this, and you're not about to sit down with a few minor bruises and bumps.
Dandridge's free throws put the Bullets back in command. Marta signals the defense. Marvin Webster to the left-handed hook. Fouled as he came into the key.
Wesley's done an excellent job of taking that move away from Marvin. This time he overcommits a little bit to the left. There he comes to move right in with the body. That's where the foul was called. So Marvin takes that left-hander, a shot that we've seen him take a lot of in the Denver series, but Wesley's more or less denied him that opportunity throughout this series.
That foul against Unseld, the third team foul against the Bullets in the first period. Webster has put the Sonics ahead, 9-8, and we seesaw early. Williams bumping on Henderson. Unseld out with a pick. Williams tries to stay with him, but the penetration works because of the pick. Sonics regroup on defense. They'll have to hurry inside. Dandridge swings up one. Williams is handling the ball a lot. Dennis Johnson regains it. No shot.
Wes Unseld going over the back is called for the foul in that situation.
They have reached the limit. 4 team fouls. Loose ball. Hayes. Here's Henderson. Bullets go back for the lead. Stolen. Gus Williams. Johnson in a foot race. Williams wisely let Charles make the move and then put in the layup. And Gus Williams has been everywhere for the Sonics early.
That's what wins it for you. Defense got to come up with the big plays like that.
3-point Sonic lead in the first period. Block shot. And again it is Gus Williams. But he fouled him, says Jack Madden. Going to have our first timeout here of the 7th and decisive NBA World Championship game. Seattle leading Washington by 3 points.
Play! Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? He hit another incredible shot. Oh my, what a play! Oh boy! He's unstoppable! Wow! Ladies and gentlemen, you just can't orchestrate it better than that. He's on fire! What an unbelievable shot!
Welcome to the NBA store on 5th Avenue in New York City. The ultimate basketball shopping experience. Now you can wear what the players wear with this exclusive personalized replica jersey from the NBA store. Call the NBA operators at 888-742-4NBA and tell them your favorite team, size, and name. You can't get this anywhere else. Your name, your team, your jersey. Or log on to NBA.com. Support your favorite team. Call 888-742-4NBA.
Quote from Seattle coach Lenny Wilkinson, what a week on CBS. Tonight, we decide the NBA championship. Saturday afternoon, Affirmed and Stevie Cawthon go for the Triple Crown at the Belmont. Jack Whitaker will be there, and Ali Dar's camp has promised an all-out run. And speaking of all-out runs, Tiny has made the trip from Landover, Maryland, to try to inspire the Washington Bullets in this 7th game. At the free throw line, after the foul against Gus Williams, is Tom Henderson. An early statistic to think about, Elvin Hayes has taken only 1 shot. Usually, the Bullets run a lot of offense through the Big E. Tommy now can pull the Bullets to within 1 point. 2-point game as the Sonics come down. 6 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the first period. Sikma faces up outside. His second field goal and the Sonics' biggest lead. Johnson backing up. They are trying to keep the ball away from Elvin. Charles Johnson responding from the perimeter to make it a 2-point game. Off Dennis Johnson's hands. On the turnover, the Bullets come down with a chance to tie, but Dandridge in the pass was foul with Lenny Wilkins thinking there should have been a traveling call. He's up now. From the side, Wes Unseld. 3 team fouls against the Sonics. The Bullets are at the limit. Johnson, 2 for 2. And that one, a tough shot under pressure, was tied it at 13. Mata yelling. Now Bickerstaff kneeling beside him. Webster on the turnaround. Unseld with a hand as young Jack Sikma is out. Somehow had avoided the foul early, but it is hard to hear the whistle. And Earl Strong has picked it up on Elvin. And Sikma is awaiting Earl at the free throw line because the Bullets are over that limit.
When Jack spun around to shoot that ball, it looked like he was going to shoot it. Elvin was going for the block. Jack didn't shoot it, and Elvin was not able to stop his forward momentum and fell into Jack.
Prior to that play also, you have Wes Unseld with 2 fouls. They're trying to get it into Webster and thinking about picking up the 3rd one on Wesley.
Young Sikma off to a strong start. That's a 5-point total, and he has 3 rebounds. He had fouled out of the last 3 games of this championship series. Mata kneeling, watching the offense at work. They trail it by a point. Hayes inside. Webster over there against Henderson. And the foul called on Big Marvin.
That time the gamble by Gus Williams did not pay off. He snuck to try and steal the ball, but watch it here. Well, there we see the foul. Marvin leaves his feet a little bit, catches him with the body. But before that, Gus Williams tried to steal the ball the same way he did to Bobby Dandridge against Elvin Hayes. Elvin wisely gave the ball up to the open man, Henderson underneath, and you see the resultant foul.
He had 2 free throws, and here's his second. Tommy can tie it at the line. 5 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the first period in Game 7 of the NBA Championship Series. Charles Johnson giving Dennis Johnson room. Inside to Webster. Back to Dennis Johnson. Lays it up high, and Webster crashes it home.
The penetration caused that play. Wesley had to leave his man, Marvin Webster. He gave Marvin a free shot at the offensive rebound.
As a defensive player, as soon as you're beaten, you should try and get back to the man who is going to try and help you out and help his personnel.
Johnson from the corner under pressure from Dennis Johnson, who cannot afford to give C.J. as much room as he had earlier.
Now here's that previous play. You see the penetration. Wesley right there must go over. That leaves Marvin in the right side of your screen to get a free run at the hoop. Perfect timing, too.
Bullets miss it. Stolen by Charles Johnson. And C.J. is every place. He had missed the shot, battled to get the ball back, put in his 3rd field goal.
C.J. gives the Bullets a little more speed in the backcourt, and In the last game, it certainly was effective for them, so I'm sure that they have a great deal of confidence in him.
Williams and Henderson collide, and Tommy, who was moving, is assessed the personal foul.
We have Gus Williams on a one-on-one move, getting a step on Henderson for the foul.
And Gus Williams, formerly of the University of Southern California, and the Golden State Warriors, now at the free throw line for the Seattle Supersonics, with a chance to put the Sonics ahead again.
Gus still being plagued by his inefficiency from the free throw line starting back in that Denver series.
3 minutes and 55 seconds to go in period number 1. Johnson again. Tapped up and in by big Wes Unseld, who had rebounding position. Wes Williams bringing it up with the Sonics down by a point. Kupchak signaling in the background. John Johnson, top of the circle. That flat shot of his. And again we seesaw. Charles Johnson regains it after DJ had knocked it away, and into the corner up on John Johnson is off. One shot. Dennis Johnson with the ball.
Charlie's got to settle down a little bit. He was a little too wild in that sequence.
Gus Williams. Unseld's quick outlet pass finds Elvin Hayes breaking to the hoop. Came up. Gus Williams was back with his second personal foul. Wes Unseld just fired the ball out to Elvin.
Here have the outlet pass to Elvin Hayes. Elvin Hayes on the way to the hoop, being fouled by Williams. Elvin's going to have an opportunity for his first points of the ball game.
This is a day for the fans. Our fans have been with us since day one. This is an opportunity for them to travel around to see our beautiful city, D.C. Went to the Lincoln Memorial, stood by the reflecting pool, to play in front of the White House, pick up ball in front of the White House. What is that all about? I mean, it's just amazing. It was just a great, great day. It was hot and humid, but everybody had a lot of fun and brought a lot of energy.
I've got a problem. I love to read. So when I start a good book, I can't put it down. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I have to keep reading. Then as soon as I finish, I can't wait to start the next one. I better get started.
Every time you step up to the line, you're alone. There is no defender. There is no clock. Only one thing can get in your way. Yourself. Don't feel the pressure. Don't think. Just release.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Basketball Association. So far in Game 7, we have been tied 4 times. The lead has changed hands 5 times. Elvin Hayes at the line can tie it. He is 0 of 1, and Dandridge 1 of 5. And Freddie Brown, the star of the first game, checks in for Lenny Wilkins. He'll be wearing number 32. Gus Williams has gone out, so a sluggish start for the Big E. With the penalty, he can put the Bullets up. 2:57 to go in the first period. Dick Motta has made 1 substitution, Charles Johnson for Kevin Greavy. Lenny Wilkins responds with his first. Inside to Dennis Johnson, and Charles Johnson was hooking him underneath. Dennis with a size advantage. One of the reasons why he wanted to take Charles underneath the hoop.
We'll watch the play right here as the pass comes into Dennis. You see Charles all over his back. It's a good, smart play by the Sonics. They executed well. They cleared the left side of the floor facing the basket. They got Charles Johnson out of position. Dennis had him on his back, and they worked the ball into him. Excellent execution.
His first point of this championship game, and his second has put the Sonics up by 1. Knocked away from Unseld. And there was a foul.
That's 2 fouls now on Marvin Webster.
With Wes Unseld coming to the free throw line. Wes needs just 13 rebounds tonight to become the 4th player in NBA playoff history to reach the 1,500 mark. The others, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, and Elgin Baylor. So he's in strong company. John Johnson's 27. Dandridge watching him. Unseld is cutting Webster off from getting in for the rebound position, but Dennis Johnson with a hand on it. And out comes Bobby Dandridge for the Bullets. It's 3-on-2. And Dandridge will pull up. 2 of 6. Quickly, John Johnson hits Dennis Johnson. Directly in front of us. Bullets up by 3, and 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the first period.
Washington defense very good. They're forcing the Sonics out very high, not allowing them to get into their offensive patterns as easily as they would like.
Sikma knocked away, regained DJ. Sikma, 4th rebound, turnaround. Dennis Johnson misfiring, Unseld, and a whistle. Elvin Hayes picks up number 2. Paul Silas checks in for the Sonics. John Johnson is out. Hayes with 2 fouls and Unseld with 2 fouls.
And Marvin Webster with 2 fouls. 3 very important men.
And Gus Williams with 2 fouls also.
Make it 4.
Two-point Washington lead, 1:45. First period, Seattle Center Coliseum, the 7th and decisive game of the NBA Championship Series. Dandridge.
Bobby, after that slow start, starting to find the range.
We have the Sonics with the 3 power people up front now.
Knocked away but regained Sikma. Webster, and a whistle by Madden because of the 3-second violation. So from the side, the Bullets will put it in play, and they have a chance to open up the biggest lead, a 6-pointer, if they can hit here. Turnovers so far, 4 for the Supersonics and 1 for the Bullets. Whistle as the pass went into Dandridge. Silas in the corner.
You can see Bobby trying to move without the ball, and here he is on a pick being set by Unseld, clearing himself for his favorite spot in the corner. And this is one of the things that a small man will do. He will try and elude a big man, run him all over the floor until he finds that opening.
Unseld was fouled as Silas tried to come right through the pick, and I mean through it.
That's the wrong guy to try to go through.
5-point Washington lead at 1:07. First period. Webster's turnaround makes it 3. Token pressure. CJ to the attack for Mata. Dennis Johnson backing up on Hayes with an effective frontal defensive ploy. Gives it to Marvin Webster, knocked away and fouled. Charles Johnson with the foul and not Unseld. Marvin Webster out of Morgan State, formerly of the Denver Nuggets. Overcame hepatitis to become one of the better big men in the NBA this season. 7 points tonight. 8. Freddie Brown awaits Tom Henderson. Dandridge gliding inside. Unseld with the offensive tap, and then Hayes, but a whistle underneath.
Again, Bobby Dandridge using his quickness, being able to get the defense to a position where they have to break down a little bit, and that allows West to go to the board.
That is 3 fouls on Marvin Webster. You saw him complaining, and Lenny Wilkins is up, and now Earl Strom warning him off, and Webster is complaining to Earl near the scoring table, and now Freddie Brown is saying, I believe that foul is on me. Freddie Brown is the captain of the team, backing up, pushing Webster away. He's the only one in that situation who can talk to Earl. And the third foul stays. So Lenny Wilkins now will take Webster out, and he will send in young Seals. Number 45, Bruce Seals, comes in, which means that Sikma will play some center.
That is a very big factor in this basketball game. Make no mistake about that.
Time running out, first period. And Brown pulls the Sonics to within 1. 4 seconds. Dandridge drills one to make it 31-28. And for Bobby Dandridge, after a 1 of 5 start, he comes back red hot. Scores 10 points in the first period. And the Bullets lead the 7th game by 3.
I think I had a shot for all occasions. I practiced hook shots. I practiced my finger roll. I practiced jump shots. You know, the finger roll took it over. That was just a great shot for me. Just roll it over their fingertips, you know, and they think they got it, and it just roll over. Everybody can dunk, but everybody can't finger roll.
It's game time. I have been a season ticket holder since 1967. Go get him. All right. Gary Payton's the greatest point guard in basketball. Gary is great. He's my man. There's Sam Perkins signing my shirt over my heart. When I'm watching a basketball game, I forget about everything else. I just center on the game, and it's a very happy time for me. Good night, guys.
Back in Seattle, the 7th and decisive game of the NBA World Championship Series. Lenny Wilkins, the Seattle coach, sitting down. His Sonics in white are trailing the Washington Bullets of Dick Motta, 31-28. Paul Silas gives it to downtown Freddie Brown, and Silas regains it. Just a battle to say that it is Brown with Elvin Hayes over on him. Greg Ballard has checked in. Bruce Seals. Hayes tracks it down. Larry Wright on the floor for Motta. So the Bullets go to their bench. Wright and Ballard are out there. Hayes, Unseld. Charles Johnson, the other guard. He has the ball now. And Hayes runs right into Paul Silas, and a blocking foul is called on Silas. Hayes running right into Paul.
We'll see the play right here. It's Paul Silas standing. Elvin Hayes just runs right into him. That was a call that should have gone the other way.
Lob pass for Elvin. Traveling the call. Sonics on the side.
They're really setting up a picket fence around Elvin down there. He's going to have to get the ball to the top man and then swing it to the weak side.
Brown, Dennis Johnson, Paul Silas, Jack Sikma, and Bruce Seals. Webster out right now with the 3 fouls. Freddie Brown on the pass from Sikma up over the top. It goes to the Bullets as Mitch Kupchak, 25, checks in. And Elvin Hayes goes out. Hayes sits down alongside Bickerstaff. Sikma goes with Kupchak. Brown inviting Wright to go to his left, but he declined. Charles Johnson to the baseline, blocked and knocked out of bounds by Dennis Johnson. Larry Wright out to Unseld. Seals hits Dennis Johnson. Dennis Johnson glides, but he turned it over. Brought the ball up over the top on the illegal move, and it goes to the Bullets.
Here we have DJ coming down the floor. There's the palm right there, as you can see him making his move toward the hoop.
It's 31-28. Washington leading Seattle in the 7th and decisive game. Second period, Kupchak lost it right back to Unseld, who drills one outside. 9 points for Unseld. 10 for Dandridge. Hayes is out after scoring but 2 in the first period.
If West can hit that shot, it's certainly going to open it up inside for Elvin and other people who like to post up.
Foul going against the Bullets. Knocked away by Ballard, who reached in on Seals. Young Greg Ballard, the rookie. That foul was against Larry Wright, his first. One team foul apiece. Wright with Dennis Johnson, and it's Bruce Seals 0 for 2, and Sikma crashes the glass, and there's a foul underneath. Kupchak fouls Sikma, and Jack will come to the free throw line. In the 3-game series against the Los Angeles Lakers, Jack Sikma was forced into a similar difficult position against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar down in the Los Angeles Forum when Marvin Webster picked up 3 fouls, and Sikma turned in a fine performance against Kareem that night.
Fred, both teams not shooting particularly good in the start of this game. First quarter, 39% for Seattle, 41 for Washington.
Kupchak. And it is from the corner, Charles Johnson, and they have turned it over with the shot clock running down. We've got a timeout in the Seattle Center Coliseum. Dick Motta bringing the Bullets over. They're up by 3.
Momento grabado en tiempo, cuando los mejores brillan. Para todos, dando lo mejor, haciendo el momento. Apunta tu visión, alcanza el cielo.
Weightlessness, unfazed by gravity, you're floating, focused as you drift. Common boundaries lie somewhere below. Time seems to stand still. Separation, ascent, expression.
Know someone that's Black Jesus, they used to call him. Screamed Black Jesus, and the waters parted, and everybody came through, and he would come in and score 60 points and go back into the red. I played it from the heart, and it kind of showed. I love the game, and I love to see the game played the way I feel as though it should be played, and that's what we'll see today.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
We are back in Seattle. As you look at some of the smiling faces, I think I remember her. She wasn't smiling that much a short time ago, was she? But the Supersonics with a quick burst, and Mata quickly calling timeout, and it's going to be a big, big weekend on CBS. The Belmont, of course. The firm goes for the Triple Crown. Danny Thomas, Memphis Open. Dick Mata saying, if the fat lady sings for us, I might go to a couple of operas.
And here
He's done a lot for opera the last couple of weeks, hasn't he?
We have that other offensive strategy here with Bobby Dandridge in the backcourt now.
Misfiring Webster with control.
Webster missed Freddie Brown way down underneath the other basket with no one on him.
Sonics to the attack. Brown coming up. Ballard unhappy. Dennis Johnson to check in for the Sonics when he can. But because the man he is to replace is coming up to the free throw line, he will stay there. And here is Brown, number 32.
That's the penalty situation against the Bullets. The Sonics will be in the penalty on their next foul.
Confident, as are, of course, most of the players. Paul Silas, the only one a bit unhappy after yesterday's practice session. He didn't think that the young Sonics were serious enough. Silas, much more than just a player for Lenny Wilkins. He provides an awful lot in the clubhouse, as Wes Unseld does for Dick Mata. Unseld's leadership is of the quiet, strong variety. Hayes, Bullets control at that offensive end. Young Greg Ballard kept it alive.
And Fred Brown again down at the other end all alone. If they would have looked up quickly, he would have had an easy two-point layup.
That's 3 times they've missed him.
Johnson on the running hook. Unseld runs it down. Henderson to the dribble. 43 to 39 and 2 minutes 56 seconds to go. First half, 7th game, Seattle. Cross court, Henderson gives it up to Unseld. Dandridge. Ballard underneath twice. Hayes taps it in. He got in front of Webster.
They've got that alignment now with Bobby Dandridge in the backcourt. He had the mismatch on Gus Williams trying to take advantage of it. So Washington playing with a very big team out there on the floor.
There is Dandridge at guard. You could see him come over on Freddie Brown with a hand. Taken back up and in by Webster. Ballard simply lost control. Henderson must control now. He's working in the backcourt with Dandridge. Brown is on Dandridge. Williams goes with Henderson. Ballard had it knocked away. Unseld regains it. Here's Dandridge at guard. Double team. Ballard getting back up. Powering inside. John Johnson. Quickly to Freddie Brown, who lost it, and here's Henderson. Unseld gives it right back, and Dandridge wants to go inside. It's a 6-point lead as Unseld hits the field goal, and he has scored 11 points in the first half. When he was a young man growing up in Kentucky, Steve Cawthon dreamed of being a basketball player at Kentucky. A trainer by the name of Laz Barrera is forever thankful that Cawthon didn't grow to be very big. And on Saturday, young Stevie Cawthon will go for the Triple Crown aboard a Firm against Alydar. What an afternoon that should be. What a night we got going here in Seattle.
Brent, both teams still a little bit tight out here. They're feeling a little bit of this pressure situation. 32% for Washington this quarter. Seattle 24% only. 37 for the game for Washington. 33 for Seattle.
Dandridge stays in the backcourt for Mata. Sikma. Tap by Hayes. Webster. Hayes came up on Marvin as he made that power move. 3 fouls on Hayes.
Here we have the pass that's partially deflected. Then it comes back to Webster. Elvin trying to help out, picking up the foul. That's his 3rd.
There was some confusion as to who the foul was against. The crowd reacting late because they saw Jack Madden hold up the 11, signaling that it was against E. Marvin at the line. Kupchak returns for Dick Mata. Hayes leaves. Bickerstaff realigns the defense. Mata bending in to talk to Elvin. Now returns to watch Webster. A 6-point Bullet lead. Now it's 5, and here's the penalty.
So that 3-on-1 break opportunity that Seattle had when they gave the ball up really has hurt them. Could have had this game tied if Marvin makes this one.
47 to 43. 1:26 to go, first half. Ballard. Dennis Johnson checks the floor. Dandridge guarding him. Kupchak takes Webster. Deflected Dandridge, but it was Dennis Johnson with a quick move, and Sikma coming out of the pack. Now elects to come up on Kupchak. Silas with a hand. Loose ball. Ballard runs it down for the Bullets, and he has been so impressive in the last couple of games for Dick Mata. Foul as the ball went down to the ground, and that's Gus Williams' third foul.
And the way the Bullets have played, the Sonics are going to have a lot of talking to take place at halftime to try to figure out what they can do to counteract the fine play on the part of the Washington Bullets.
And I will take the opportunity to talk to John Havlicek, who has been here so many times in the past, and Rick Berry about what the strategy will be and what we might see. We're going to have a little bit of a musical look at some of the offbeat action that has occurred in this series.
Gus Williams, in picking up his 3 fouls, has gambled every time, and I think that, you know, he has to play it a little more conservative. He got off to a good start stealing a couple in a row, but the next 3 he was called for fouls, so he might slow up just a little bit defensively.
Could very well be that in the second half, the team that gets hot from the floor and works hard in the defense will be the team that wins the championship.
This equaling a previous 8-point lead. Williams negotiates inside. He's clever.
Something I talked about in the last game, he has that uncanny ability to penetrate, and if he does that, it's going to open things up and they can be much more effective.
So it is last shot time. The Bullets can use up every second. Henderson electing to go in with 6 seconds, so the Sonics should have time if they hurry. Wasting a couple of seconds, bring it down to 2 outside. They didn't attack quickly enough. 53 to 45. That's the score after the first half of the 7th and decisive game of the NBA Championship Series. It's Seattle and Washington.
The joint is rocking in Seattle. Seattle Sonics looking good. And what a move by Shrem. Gary whirls to the hole. Reverses up and in. Oh, my goodness. Baker, outside jumper on the way. Got another one. Wow. And Baker is in the zone.
Today, some basic basketball terms.
The alley-oop.
Alley-whoop.
Double pump. Yes.
Double pump, double.
The Sonics are crashing the offensive board.
Crashing is strictly prohibited.
Two-handed red. The elevation jam. What a circus shot.
Oh, dear.
Did he just... What you just saw. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Four minutes until a championship is determined. There's some interesting sidebar notes going around. One in a Seattle paper today involved Tom Meschery. Do you remember Meschery? He was an assistant coach after a long, illustrious career as a player in the NBA. He worked for Lenny Wilkins at Portland. He's now living in California. The day that Lenny Wilkins was hired as the Supersonics head coach and the team was 5-17, Meschery went across the state line into Nevada where it's legal. He bet $50 at 250 to 1 that the Seattle Supersonics would win the whole thing. If Seattle can come back, Tom Meschery will pick up $12,500 tonight. That'll buy him a lot of notebooks with which to write his poetry. Tiny and the Bullets are ready. They're going to have a lot to say about it.
Graham, we've talked about the guards scoring quite a bit during this series. Washington leading this thus far, 20 points to 18 for Seattle.
Sonics with the first possession in the second half. Their normal starting five. For Dick Motta, he will open with Greg Ballard. That means Bobby Dandridge will stay in the backcourt. Jack Sikma backing in on Elvin Hayes. Missed the first shot. Webster is there trying to power up, knocked free. And for Dennis Johnson's hurt. He was hit in the face with the hand accidentally as he came out, and he's fine.
Here we have a scramble for the ball. It's deflected from Elvin. Elvin deflects it from Webster. The chase is on, and Johnson ends up with a little hit in the face.
Dennis Johnson missed on the turnaround as he came out. The foul against Dandridge was his second. Dandridge. So 12 points for Bobby D, who's been here before with Milwaukee in 1971.
Last time down the floor, they immediately tried to get it into Sikma, who was being guarded by Elvin Hayes, to try and draw a foul.
Sonics trying to cut that 10-point lead. Dennis Johnson. Hayes with the handoff to Tommy Henderson, who will run it.
Dennis still not able to find the range, and they need his offensive punch.
Dandridge giving it back outside to Unseld. On the turnover, it's Webster with control to Dennis Johnson. Here's Gus Williams. Dennis Johnson is now 0 of 10. He's handling the ball. To John Johnson. And the veteran will try to pick up some of the scoring slack, reducing the lead to 8.
Again, the penetration working well. When you can get in the middle, you can really cause some problems for the other team defensively.
Webster out on Unseld. Dandridge with Dennis Johnson on him goes to the turnaround. Snapped down by John Johnson. One hand for Gus Williams, who with control of the ball stepped out of bounds. He almost made a sensational catch and scored a touchdown. Neither of these teams has lost 2 in a row since March. And tonight, of course, the Sonics are trying to break the streak. The Bullets have been going back and forth, win-lose for their last 9 games. They're in control of the decisive one as Henderson brings it up. Unseld with the pick, but they elect to go inside to Ballard. Partially blocked. John Johnson had a hand on it. Williams controls. Just cut off by Hayes, but John Johnson positioned underneath, misfiring. Unseld with a great outlet to Henderson. Dennis Johnson comes back, swats it away.
Watch the play here as Henderson goes down the floor. Just tremendous hustle on the part of Dennis Johnson. Let's see if it is goaltending. Here's the ball. He's going up. Looks like he let it go and was letting it come down. The officials ruled no.
Probably should have taken it in and put it off the board, and that way he wouldn't have had a chance to do that.
Dandridge. Tap back up and in by Elvin Hayes. And he was up over the top on it. And Elvin Hayes has picked up number 4. Motta is screaming.
You saw Bernie Bickerstaff give the choke signal to the official. He's lucky he didn't get a tee.
Johnson goes the length to Webster on the follow. Jack Sikma. John Johnson missing 3 shots. Knocked away and controlled again by the Sonics. Webster at 8:39. Marvin Webster has brought the house alive in Seattle. That could be a moment. Mata must now try to slow things down immediately, which he does. He must try to calm down the Sonics. Even though they're ahead, this is a pressure spot for the Bullets. Elvin Hayes, he quiets the crowd. Big, big basket.
That's the greatest way in the world to quiet him down on the road. Charlie Johnson forearmed Jack Sikma when he set a screen that time. Call for the foul.
That's 3 fouls on Johnson.
When you hustle like they did on that last basket, that's really where the crowd can get you going.
Marvin asking for it. Giving it back to young Sikma. Short. Williams hustles to the ball. Goes to the glass. And the lead is trimmed to 6. 7 minutes and 45 seconds left in the 3rd period of Game 7. Unseld lob for Hayes. John Johnson on the foul.
John Johnson, weak side defense, had good position here. We'll see the pass coming up. Watch Johnny come into your picture on the lob. There he is. He moves over, just a little bit late getting there. Picks up the foul.
CJ bringing DJ with him. Dandridge was coming into the middle, and it counts. And Wilkins can't believe it.
Another example of moving the ball to the weak side, giving the man an opportunity to go one-on-one when the defense spread.
16 points for Bobby D, who is a free agent, was picked up by the Bullets. He represented their biggest cash outlay in preparation for this season.
Bobby has not played particularly good on the road in playoff competition, but he's sure having a good game here. And this is when you need it most.
Bullets leading Williams and the Sonics by 9. Bad pass, and Elvin Hayes with a hand, and on the turnover, it's Henderson controlling.
Washington came up strong against that little assault by the Sonics.
Hayes missing the turnaround. Webster quickly out to Dennis Johnson. Bullets are back on defense. John Johnson firing the ball to Gus Williams. Short. Marvin Webster coming back inside, and that is his 4th personal foul as Elvin Hayes gets off the floor.
We have the shot taken. Marvin Webster up for the rebound, getting a little bit of Elvin Hayes right over his back.
So we've got a timeout. The Sonics still trying to regroup around Lenny Wilkins with Washington in command.
They can see it in your eyes. The hunger. The determination. This is what you live for. A chance to meet the challenge. The desire comes from within. It comes from the heart. It's pride and it's respect. And this is what I play for.
Oh, it's cooking now. You look so sweet and you're so doggone fine. I just can't get you out of my mind. Make me feel good, fly. Come on. So good inside, mama, come on.
Welcome back to to the NBA's greatest game.
Yes, the fat lady may indeed be alive and well in Seattle, but we're not sure who she'll be serenading when this game comes to an end. 2 minutes and 59 seconds left. The Washington Bullets have played a gutty game so far. Whenever the Sonics attempt to make a run, they've responded. Charles Johnson outside. If you're wondering about the fouls, Gus Williams with 4, Marvin Webster with 4, Charles Johnson with 4, and Elvin Hayes with 5. Sikma faces up on Johnson on the mismatch, took advantage of it for the field goal.
Smart play by Fred Brown that time, getting the ball into the big man with the little guy on him.
That's Sikma's first basket in his last 8 attempts also.
Charles Johnson again. And it is Mitch Kupchak. 3 big baskets by Kupchak. Second-year pro out of North Carolina. So if it's not Greg Ballard, it's Mitch Kupchak. Freddie Brown to the attack. Deep rebound. Controlled by Dandridge.
Not a very good shot in that situation. They should try to work the ball around, run some type of offense, not go one-on-one and take a 20-foot jump shot.
Bullets can go to 11. Henderson trying to come right around the corner that time. Gus Williams has just picked up foul number 5, and Dennis Johnson quickly checks in with Gus going out.
And Gus missed his last 4 attempts in the ball game. Dennis Johnson 0 for 12 in the game, as we pointed out. Sikma 1 for 8. So 3 of the 7 men that they have who have been so consistent for them throughout the playoffs are just having very poor offensive games here this evening. And you couldn't have a more inopportune time to have that happen.
We have a 20-second injury timeout. That's why the break. It was for Tommy Henderson, who strained his left hand somewhat, and John Lally, the Washington trainer, tending to him, and Tommy back at the free throw line checking the clock. 1 minute and 51 seconds left in the third period. It's a 9-point Bullet lead. And you've got to think that the big fella, Wes Unseld, starting to say, tonight's the night. He's waited oh so long for a championship, and he is on the brink. Webster getting West up in the air that time, drawing the foul, watching intently to see if the field goal was going to go down, and Unseld quickly checking the clock, calmly half blowing a bubble, and his coach, Dick Motta, kneeling down.
Bullets, of course, trying to go against tremendous odds, having to win 2 games up here in Seattle to win this championship. Not many people thought that they could do that, but they're trying to prove people wrong, and they're doing a good job of it so far.
Of course, John Havlicek and the Boston Celtics won 3 games in Milwaukee. The last time that the series went 7 games, and the last time that a road team won the decisive game.
When you get to this last game, you really don't think too much about a home court advantage.
Webster coming back with the third one. So it's a 10-point Bullet lead. They come down with Henderson, Charles Johnson, Dandridge, Kupchak, and Unseld. West crisscrossing his forwards now. Dandridge rotating underneath. CJ outside. Short. Silas. Brown. Freddie pulls up. Marvin Webster. Not knowing that he's going to have to contain Webster down the stretch. Because as Freddie Brown told Rick at halftime, they must go inside. Silas knocks it away. Dandridge retrieves. Quick pass by Johnson, who was covered up on the shot. Henderson.
Only 1 second on the shot clock that time. Good feed out by Charlie Johnson. Excellent defense, but the Bullets have the response. They're refusing to crack, Brent, doing a great job of holding up under tremendous pressure and odds.
Wanted Silas. Great defense. Dandridge from the pack. And it's Henderson with Dennis Johnson coming in. Mitch Kupchak on the other side. Dennis Johnson to the foul, and Henderson down and injured.
Brandon, he's okay. He was more upset about missing the basket than anything else, I believe, on this play. Here you see he takes a look at Dennis coming in. He allows that to bother him somewhat. Dennis grabbing up to make sure he doesn't hurt him. A good sportsman-like gesture on his part. Tommy just a little bit disappointed that he missed the shot.
2 fouls, Rick, on Dennis Johnson with Henderson at the free throw line.
That probably makes it feel even worse.
Anytime you miss a free throw in a championship game, it really hurts, Rick. Of course, you never miss too many.
It hurts me to miss them anytime.
Kupchak got position. That is 4 for 4 and the game's biggest lead as Mitch Kupchak comes off the bench when Elvin Hayes goes out with 5 fouls and supplies the firepower for Mata. Brown misses. Sikma is there. At the buzzer, Johnson zips one in. Charles Johnson has hit one from midcourt as time runs out on the 3rd period. So they have had a response for everything, including the clock running down. The Washington Bullets are 12 minutes away from capturing the championship that has eluded them this decade.
It's just about concentration. If you can concentrate and keep a level of concentration over a course of some hours, then you'll see an improvement. As long as a player has that motivation, something deep down inside that wants you to improve that much more, you really can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. Improving your game each and every day. If I do that, then I'll be satisfied.
This shot by Charles Johnson that made it 79-66. Rick, not quite as long nor quite as dramatic as Jerry West against the New York Knicks, but for the Washington Bullets and Charles Johnson, it will do quite well. Thank you.
Yes, and it certainly does put that much more pressure on the Sonics. They're probably wondering what is going on out here. We can't seem to get any breaks. But they have 12 minutes to work hard. They've got the crowd behind them. It's a long way from being over. They have to be patient.
And still, Freddie Brown trying to carry the Seattle bench all alone with all 10 of their points and 26 off of Dick Mata's bench. And the Bullets have suddenly come up with more depth than they had when the series began. Mitch is short. Freddie Brown went back. Larry Wright was scrambling. And the whistle. Bobby Dandridge.
Sonics have too much dribbling right now. They should be moving the ball around a little more.
And the Bullets keeping the pressure on, working tough on the defensive end of the floor. That's where they can win the championship here in this 4th quarter with their defense.
And the Bullets shooting so much better in the 3rd period. Sikma. It's 11.
Still a long way to go, and there's a tendency to let up sometimes when you're ahead, so don't go away.
Unseld waits. Charles Johnson.
There's one fellow you don't have to worry about changing his style. I've said that many times before. Jack will play the same way regardless of what the situation is.
He is also a candidate for most valuable player in this series, having scored 6 big points quickly in overtime in the Kingdom. Jack Sikma. Larry Wright trying to come around Freddie Brown. Brown kicking it out of bounds. Bullets keep the ball. And young Greg Ballard returns. Jack Sikma is waving the hot hand for Lenny Wilkins. He has hit his last 4 shots after that cold spell. Off of Johnson's foot, it'll go to the Sonics.
Not a good pass by Ballard. And again, those turnovers that can be so costly.
Every trip down the floor for the Sonics becomes important. Sikma faces up. 5 straight.
He's hit his last 4 shots, so he's starting to heat. 5, I'm sorry.
Ballard for the pass. Johnson's in the corner. Firing back toward Ballard. Deflected by Silas, and Ballard gets it back. It's Johnson with a shot clock running out. Taken down on the move by Freddie Brown. Sonics trying to get a running game going. Brown to the glass. They're right back in it. 81-74. We'll have a timeout called by Dick Motta and the Washington Bullets. He knows that 14,000 fans will applaud that move. He just wants to calm things down right now and hold the Sonics off. That's what the Bullets have done so far all game long.
Second, third grade, when I first even touched the basketball, my grandmother had bought me. From that time on, I knew we had to be best friends if I wanted it to work for me. And then I lost, and I cried when I lost it. I think the more you have it in your hands, the more confidence you have. Behind the back drills, full speed, right hand, left hand, and doing spin moves. Just making it here wasn't good enough for me. You know, even though that's a dream to make it here, but to be successful was something that I wanted, all because of this.
I started out playing piano and somehow wound up here, high above Madison Square Garden. I watch the action and I try to anticipate because once the moment's gone, it's gone for good. I think basketball is a very musical game. There's a certain flow to it, so it's a perfect match of 2 of my passions. And maybe it's not what my piano teacher had in mind, but I'm lucky enough to have a great view of a great game, and I just can't think of anything else I'd rather be doing than that.
Phil drew up the play at the end. Everybody in the gym, everybody on TV knew it was coming to me.
It is Michael Jordan time.
I looked to Steve and I said, hey, this is your chance. And he said, give me the ball.
He comes off. I'll be ready. Hand back Jordan. Here's 6 on the shot. Jordan keeps the dribble. Jordan fights. Jordan hits Kerr. Kerr, 18-footer, good!
When I passed him the ball, and he knocked the shot down. And I'm very happy for Steve Kerr.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
I'm Brent Musburger with Rick Barry, John Havlicek. It's 81-74. The Sonics have run off the last 6 points. Henderson to the attack for the Bullets.
Well, again, the Sonics mount a charge, but can the Bullets sustain it and turn it back?
Hayes missing. Sikma. Stolen. Ballard on the move. Greg Ballard. Fred Brown is there. Ballard comes right up on him. Hayes couldn't tap it. Now he comes back up a second time. Crowd wanted the foul call. as Dennis Johnson went to turn the corner, Greg Ballard held him up.
Bobby Dandridge getting set to come back in.
Dandridge returns and Ballard leaves.
Sikma going with the more experienced player.
Greg Ballard with 4 points and 6 rebounds, and he wants Kupchak back in, but he could not get to the table in time as the ball comes inbound. Traveling.
So the Sonics have hurt themselves here with 2 straight turnovers, not getting a shot at the basket just when they were mounting a little bit of a charge. Same thing the Bullets did a little bit earlier, hurt themselves. You must try to minimize, and almost in this stage of the game, eliminate your mistakes.
It was 81-74. Bullet basket by Hayes made it 83-74. That's the time left in regulation time in this NBA campaign. Hayes on the turnaround. 12 points for Hayes, who's now playing with 5 fouls. Taking Sikma. Last 4 points to the Bullets, who have responded to every challenging moment tonight.
It's Kupchak picking up the foul. That's 3 team fouls to the Bullets, none on the Sonics. Mata playing a little chess game here.
Ballard returns. The last team to win a game in the Seattle Center Coliseum, the Washington Bullets, 22 games ago. They won in the Kingdome in this series, too. Sikma. Marvin Webster. Jack Sikma over the top. Foul called, and Kupchak is saying that should be on Sikma, and Elvin Hayes is protesting, too. That's going to be number 6 on the Big E.
Sure looked like Sikma came over his back that time frame. We'll have to check the replay out to see what the play was. Here's the shot. That's a little bit too late. We'll watch it a little earlier. We didn't really get to see it on that replay. We'll see if we can key it up again.
We will reach back now into our director's bag of tricks, with Sikma getting ready at the free throw line.
All right, here it comes right now. There's a shot by Webster. There's Jack Sikma on the bottom part of your screen going after the ball. He goes up, jumps right into Elvin Hayes. Should have gone the other way.
Hayes may have come down on him with his right hand, and that might have been the reason why the foul was called on E. At any rate, it was close. Goes against Hayes. 6 fouls and out in 8 minutes, 85-76. Hayes was 5 of 10, 2 or 3 at the free throw line with 7 rebounds. Blocked by Webster. Fred Brown. Ballard and Dandridge rotate back. Silas with that off-balance move. Offensive foul. And it's the Sonics' turn to complain.
Here's the play again. He calls, sees the opening. Wesley moves over, cuts him off. There's contact there. The official rules the charge against Paul Silas.
Intelligent move by Wes Unseld. Ballard regains the ball. Henderson. Short. Comes right to Marvin Webster, and a loose ball foul.
And that will be the penalty situation. Greg Ballard was the foul that time, his 4th.
This is a critical part of the game right now for Washington. They can't be too tentative because they're too far away from winning it. If they want to win it, they have to do what they did, get the ball inside, try to get it to the free throw line, and hope for a good shot every time down the floor. Of course, at this point, the Sonic defense is picking up, and this crowd can really put them over the hump if they keep it up.
Marvin Webster turning in perhaps his finest offensive performance of the series. 19 points, 16 rebounds. He was out for a time in the first half with 3 fouls. He's playing with 4. He can pull the Sonics to within 7 points. Kupchak. Henderson checking the clock. 7 minutes and 15 seconds left. Dandridge went down as he worked the baseline. Four fouls on Jack Sikma. And that one against the rookie.
The delay to wipe up the court so that the players do not slip warm in this building.
And it is about to turn just a little bit hotter. 7 minutes and 11 seconds. One team foul against the Sonics. Bullets already in the penalty. Unseld flips it quickly to Johnson, who hits it and was fouled by Dennis Johnson. A sensational moment for the Washington Bullets, who have lost their offensive leader, and Charles Johnson coming up with his bag of tricks.
Charles Johnson again. One of the things that he does so well is get the shot up quickly. When Dennis Johnson plays against Greavy, he's not as quick a shooter and he bothers him, but CJ gets right up real quick with it, and that's a great attribute.
Not bad for a cast-off, is it? Charles Johnson turned loose by the Warriors, picked up by the Bullets. He could be the big, big man. Freddie Brown got inside of Kupchak on the defensive switch.
Freddie has the incredible ability to be able to snake his way inside. Well, shot ball to carry. Let's watch the snake move by Freddie Brown. Here he comes dribbling. I thought for a while it looked like he got too much dribbling. Snakes around Kupchak. Kupchak a little fake, but Freddie says take that one.
Could be that Kupchak's knee was hit, and that was not a fake, but a little bit of agony over there on that side. And anyway, here are the Sonics. Marvin Webster was coming up.
Wes Unseld. You could see Wesley showing his disappointment in that call.
That's 4 fouls on Wes Unseld.
Chance to cut it down to 7 points with 6:25 to go. That is a lot of time in basketball.
The Washington Bullets must do it without Elvin Hayes. He does indeed cut it to 7 with those 2 free throws. Henderson checking the time. 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Charles Johnson is 7 of 15, total of 15 points. Johnson goes inside. Webster flying over to intimidate, and a whistle underneath by Madden. Unseld upset and furious. Going against him, number 5.
Klein won a silver medal in the '76 Olympics. Lynette Woodard won a gold medal in the '84 Olympics. Lieberman Klein was the first woman to play in a men's professional league. Woodard was the first woman to play for the Harlem Globetrotters. Meet Nancy Lieberman Klein of the Phoenix Mercury and Lynette Woodard of the Cleveland Rockers. The WNBA.
No one taught me more about teamwork than my dad. They called him Mr. Mean because he never smiled. He didn't smile when he volunteered to coach the kids in the neighborhood. He didn't smile when he drove the team to every game, or when he worked with kids for hours on his own time. He showed me anyone can make a difference if they just get involved. I'll tell you something else about my dad. He's got a great smile. Team up with your community.
Yeah. Everyone in this room knows how to play the game the right way. Playing the right way in this league is big time, guys. As much as talent's important, as much as size is important, as much as defense is important, playing with the right attitude and the right intensity is as important as anything in this game. For some reason, we didn't come out and put an intensity and attitude and a dominance on that basketball court that the fans and everybody could get crazy about.
For total access, log on to NBA.com.
And that's what you want to do here. Okay, let's go.
in Seattle. It is the 7th and deciding game of the NBA championship. The Washington Bullets leading the Seattle Supersonics 92-84 with 4 minutes and 59 seconds to go. And after the game, we will take you inside the winning locker room. We will also have the presentation of the trophy by the NBA Commissioner Lawrence O'Brien. Here is Dennis Johnson, who is still trying to hit his first field goal. It has been a tough, long night for Dennis, and still he can't get the ball to drop. It'll go now to the Bullets. He is 0 of 14. The bench, 31-16. The Bullets with the lead. Freddie Brown with 14 of those 16 points. The other 2 for Paul Silas. 6 of Washington's players in double figures for Dick Motta, led by Bobby Dandridge at 17. Johnson.
Charlie Johnson with that quick shot again.
He has equaled Dandridge. And he's 8 of 17. Wow. Kupchak tying up with Marvin Webster, and Mitch goes to the floor.
Just tremendous determination by that young fellow right there, going after that ball. He wanted it. Seattle still with enough time to mount one more attack. Washington playing very steady basketball.
Hit by Silas and goes to Freddie Brown. Jump pass to Sikma. Loose ball run down by the Bullets, and Gus Williams coming up over Tommy Henderson. And so Gus Williams has fouled out of the game.
That time, Gus just got in the game. He's been sitting a while. He was very aggressive, wanted to get into the flow, and ended up getting the 6th foul.
There's the Washington bench with Kevin Greavy, again taken out early because aches and pains. Elvin Hayes having fouled out. 95-84 and the last 4 minutes. Inside to Silas. On the turnaround, Sikma crashing back in towards the glass. The foul is going to go against the Bullets. Kupchak. Time left is in the right-hand corner. Webster with 22 points is at the line.
Marvin Webster's been a tower of strength out here this evening. He picked up those early fouls. Had to spend quite a bit of time on the bench in the second quarter. But he's done a whale of a job out here. Without him, the way he's played, Sonics would really be in big trouble. They are right now.
The Bullets with 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Now down to 3:40. The wheelhorse hands it off to Dandridge. Webster's on the switch to him. Dandridge gets inside Marvin, but he traveled. Lenny Wilkins with time left for that one charge that Rick told you about.
Next 3 or 4 times down the floor, very crucial both offensively and defensively for the Sonics. If they want to pull it out, they have got to execute.
Webster gives it back to Freddie Brown. Double team. Keeps on coming inside. Body control. An 8-point Bullet lead. 3 minutes and 12 seconds.
Sonics have to play D right here.
Dandridge cut off. Charles Johnson, it's a 10-point lead. And number 15 is doing it for Dick Motta and Bernie Bickerstaff. 19 points for Charles Johnson. Silas giving it up to Marvin Webster. Down to 8. 2:43. Johnson to the baseline. Webster is off. Sonics can cut it to 6. Sikma coming inside of Kupchak, and there was a whistle and a foul against Mitch.
This is going to be a real good matchup for years to come. Kupchak and Sikma, both of them very young ball players here in the championship. It's a long way to go in their careers. Two fine players.
And that, John, was the fourth foul against Kupchak. 97-90.
Sonics not having one of their better games from the free throw line as far as percentage-wise, and that has hurt them somewhat. It's cost them valuable points.
Webster with a move, got inside Kupchak and Unseld. 97-92. 3 quick points by the Sonics. It's a 5-point game at 2 minutes and 4 seconds, and 27 points for Webster. Dennis Johnson out on Henderson, who put his head down, burrowed in the foul call against Dennis, who protests vehemently.
On that last free throw, coaches just hate to see that second man get in there for that easy 2-point basket.
And the penalty situation now in effect for both teams. So big free throws coming up here for Tom Henderson.
Kupchak exchanging some words with Earl Strom. And Strom telling Mitch to cool it a bit, and Captain Wes Unseld went over and calmed them both down. (98-92). 6 points inside of 2 minutes. Freddie Brown.
And the Sonics at this point have to pick them up all over the floor.
4-point game.
Big offensive sequence here for the Bullets, defensively for the Sonics.
Free throws could become vital. Charles Johnson, Webster with a hand, loose ball, picked up by Kupchak. It stayed loose. Mitch Kupchak came out of the pack, came up with a basket, and put it in. The ball stayed loose on the floor, and it was Kupchak who seized the opportunity. With Henderson down and Kupchak over to assist him.
Here's the play here. The ball rolling around on the floor. You see Henderson dove for it. He was the man to put his body on the line. Bounces to Kupchak in a big play. You can see the reaction of him. And in situations like that, the best thing sometimes is dive on top of that ball and smother it.
That's Dick Motta, John Lally with Tom Henderson down. There's Dick. That's 12 points for Kupchak. He is 5 of 6 with 5 rebounds, and he made it 100-94.
A situation like that with the game on the line, you never want to second guess yourself after the game. You have to go after everything, and Henderson did a great job of just keeping the ball alive.
The Sonics, John, had every opportunity to come out of there with the basketball, and they couldn't handle it.
They played the good defense. Charlie Johnson had to take a 20-25-footer. There again, Webster had a piece of the ball, but the active hands really kept it alive.
And the Sonics will see what they can do with the last 1 minute and 30 seconds, and the Bullets leading by 6 points, 100-94. And Kupchak at the free throw line attempting to complete the 3-point play. Marvin Webster with 5 fouls. Wes Unseld with 5 fouls. The penalty. (101-94). Clock starts. Freddie Brown coming up in a foul call on his shot attempt. Bobby Dandridge.
Freddie Brown really looking to be offensive. This is his game right now because I don't think that there's anyone else out there that feels that they can really take it to him. And Freddie is confident. That time he picked up a foul in the process. He has a chance to complete 2 shots here. Cut that lead again.
4 fouls on Bobby D. Freddie Brown has experienced some unusual problems for him at the free throw line in this series. Rick Barry, Calvin Murphy, Freddie Brown are always among the finest free throw shooters in the NBA. And there'll be some others coming into the league this Friday when they conduct their annual draft. Kupchak and Unseld controlling that time, not letting anybody step inside, and West just yanked it down. 110, 101-95, and the Bullets with the ball.
And they want to use up as much time as possible. They're going to run the clock down as far as they can.
Kupchak rejected Webster. CJ is off. Unseld with a hand on it. It'll go to the Sonics. Now Lenny Wilkins will take one of those timeouts. We're back, and Lenny Wilkins has just told the Sonics no fouls. 101-95, and I would think, John Havlicek, that just as you point out that the Sonics probably will go to Freddie Brown, Dick Motto would instruct the Bullets to be ready for that.
No question about it. You can be sure he's going to get a few picks on this sequence. Here again, the Bullets not electing to put pressure on the man out of bounds. All he has to do is turn and face it. He's got a lot of time to pick out the man. This is a crucial situation. If you put a man on the person taking the ball out of bounds, he's really under a lot of heavy pressure to make a good pass.
Freddie Brown comes out to meet it. They cannot waste time. Kupchak goes down in an effort to draw the foul. Brown body control. 101-97.
He just has that uncanny ability to get people up in the air, split them a little bit, and get between them for the good shot. And he can shoot it off balance.
Bullets ahead by 4, and the NBA championship at stake here. And Dandridge, Marvin Webster helping out with the pressure. Dandridge bringing it up across the timeline, using the clock, going to Henderson. Shot clock down to 10. Sonics finally go to the foul. Jack Sikma in the corner.
Foul Wes Unseld in the corner, away from the ball, thinking he's the poorest free throw shooter. We'll see how the gamble pays off.
Foul number 5 on young Sikma. Unseld with 13 points.
I'm sure that the Sonics will call timeout as soon as they get the ball to get it at half court.
Gus Williams watching intently. Unseld 0 for 2. So there indeed is the timeout. 26 seconds. Sonics down by 4 points. And of course, as soon as this championship is determined, we'll take you inside the winning locker room, and we'll have the presentation of the trophy.
this. Are you kidding me? He hit another incredible shot. Oh, my, what a play. Oh, boy. He's unstoppable. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just can't orchestrate it better than that.
He's on fire. What an unbelievable shot.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
So it has come down to the last 26 seconds of Game 7. Seattle Supersonics trailing the Washington Bullets 101-97.
And I'm sure you'll see them go to Freddie Brown again, and when the shot is taken, there are going to be 5 people crashing the boards.
Now we're set. Jack Madden checking with the timer. It begins. Freddie Brown. In and out. And the rebound put back up and in by Paul Silas with 18 seconds. It's a 2-point lead. Pressure now. Unseld goes to Henderson. Wilkins saying no foul, but Unseld was picked up in the backcourt. Paul Silas. Lenny had checked the clock, and he preferred to wait until they came across the line. But at 12 seconds, Silas went right over to Wes Unseld. Unseld 0 of 2, his last time to the foul line.
And he will be through to shooting 3 of 2 because the foul is in the backcourt.
You don't think those stomachs aren't churning? And Unseld has missed his last 3 free throws. Making a mighty important one. It's a 3-point lead.
The Sonics have 1 timeout left, I believe, and they are going to use that as soon as this play is completed. At that time, we had a bullet timeout.
So it is 102-99, and the tension begins to build in the Coliseum as time is running out on the Supersonics. Lenny Wilkins, Gus Williams, who had fouled out, ending into the huddle. Wes Unseld will be coming to the free throw line to shoot the penalty.
This may very well be the biggest free throw Wes ever shot.
Unseld can make it a 4-point bullet lead. Changed his free throw shooting style in the playoffs, leading with that right foot. And calmly comes back after missing 3 in a row and hitting those 2 important ones, which put the Bullets up by 4 and 12 seconds to go. So Wes Unseld, who in 1971 failed as the center of the Baltimore Bullets when they were blown out by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and the Milwaukee Bucks in 4 straight games, and who failed again in 1975 when the Golden State Warriors beat the Washington Bullets by 4 straight, is just 12 ticks of the clock away from his first NBA championship. And for Dick Motta, it all began back in Utah, where he was raised as a small boy. Moved to Grace, Idaho, where he failed to make his high school team. Went into the Air Force. Came back as the coach at Grace Junior High School. Moved on up to the varsity, where he led that team to a state championship. Later became the successful head coach at Weber State. And from there, a man by the name of Dick Klein gave him his opportunity to become head coach of the Chicago Bulls. 4 times he led the Gutty Bulls to 50-plus victories. 1 time going to the championship game of the Western Conference. And now, as head coach of the Washington Bullets, Dick Motta is about to turn to that famous fat lady of his and say, okay, light it up. We've got it done. But 12 seconds, and a lot of strange things can happen in the NBA. Here is the man, Lenny Wilkins, who came out of Providence to be the #1 draft choice of the St. Louis Hawks back in 1960, who from St. Louis was traded from Atlanta to Seattle for Walt Hazzard and became a player coach with these Supersonics. Later traded away to Cleveland for Butch Beard and Barry Clemens. went on to become the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers and had only one misfortune. He couldn't keep Bill Walton healthy. He has come to the Seattle Supersonics this year from a 5-17 start. He too, 12 seconds away. But for Lenny Wilkins, it's a longer 12 seconds than the one that Dick Motta must march now. Paul Silas will take the ball out of bounds. It's been a whale of a campaign. And the tired looks now starting to show on even the fans' faces. It began 8 months ago. Dennis Johnson begins the countdown. They must shoot quickly. It is in and out. Unseld with control. It is about to end. Bobby Dandridge, he will be our most valuable player. Bobby Dandridge voted the CBS most valuable player here in the NBA Championship Series. And the celebration can begin in Washington. Dick Motta and Bernie Bickerstaff are embracing over there as the Washington Bullets jubilantly file off the floor. And the crowd here in Seattle, rather than booing, comes to its feet and gives both these teams a tremendous ovation. Freddie Brown and Wes Unseld shaking hands at midcourt. There are no recriminations for Lenny Wilkins and the Supersonics. They didn't even think this team would get in the playoffs. And for the Washington Bullets, they have finally done it, and they've done it the hard way. They twice had to win games here in Seattle, one in the Kingdome before 39,000 fans, and then here tonight in the Seattle Center Coliseum, where the Supersonics had won 22 straight games. And it was the Washington Bullets prevailing, 105-99, the final score, as they file into their locker room. The happy champions of the NBA, Larry Wright, Kevin Gravy, the most valuable player, Bobby Dandridge, Charles Johnson there embracing, Greg Ballard, the rookie from Oregon, who provided some great moments for the Bullets as they eliminated Atlanta. Then they were underdogs against the San Antonio Spurs.
We voted MVP
on George Gervin. And then, after shutting down George Gervin in San Antonio, these men went up against the doctor, Julius Erving and the Philadelphia 76ers. They beat them in 6 games. Then it was on to the championship, and again they had given up the home court. But they wrested it away tonight as they have won the NBA championship.